Toot toot.
Howdy, folks.
Oh, yes.
Toot toot. Whoops. Whoops.
Toot toot.
I'm Big Howell. This is my partner in grime, Mr. Possum.
Oh, yes. Here we are, Wednesday night.
This is our new live streaming show called Big Howell and Possum. We're going to do this every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. The Bev Niner Hour, a distinguished hour of entertainment, as far as I'm concerned. Let's just get this this here chat linked up here. Let me get this. Let's see. I gotta find this thing.
How's your day going, Big Al?
Oh, it's going great. You know, I've just been basically setting up for this.
Oh yeah,
Just getting the production value top notch, to where there's really no problems with the way it looks at all. Looks very professional. Doesn't look like something just a couple guys are doing in a basement.
No, me personally, I prefer perfection. That's just the way I live my life. But if it looks just okay, that's fine.
All right. Okay. Well, we got the chat going.
Okay.
All right. So
Toot,
let's toot toot. Let's give us a toot toot if you're in the chat. Oh, there's Nathan. Hello, Nathan.
Hey.
Toot toot to you. Let us know where you're from. Let us know if you have any questions for us, or if you'd like to, I don't know, suggest that we go, go off and forget ourselves somewhere. If you would like to do that, go ahead and do that.
You're trying to get them to be hateful. You're trying to get the internet to be mean.
I'm trying to provoke the internet. That is true.
Oh,
that is true. Because I've heard that really ups your Patreon subscribers if people are mean to you on the internet. I've heard that works.
So it's good to be somewhat of a scarecrow on the internet. You want to be something that birds land on and peck at.
That's the goal.
Okay.
That is exactly the goal, Mr. Possum.
I feel like I'm kind of dressed like a scarecrow, which is good.
I've always thought that about you. The first time we met, I thought, did this guy just rob a scarecrow?
I did just rob a scarecrow. That's tight. You nailed it. That's exactly what I did.
All right.
He wasn't wearing them.
He was wearing them. That's the only thing a scarecrow does.
Oh,
that's the one skill a scarecrow has.
But he don't have a mind of his
wears
own.
Exactly what you were wearing.
He's a dummy.
All right. Anybody else there in the chat? We got anybody got a toot toot for us? Do you want to see the special toot toot video, Mr. Possum?
Oh yeah.
Would you like to see that? Here, let's watch this. Let's see what the toot toot looks. Oh, look at that!
Toot toot!
Look at that! Toot toot! That is badass!
I just love it.
Woo! Man, we have had our interns working all week on making beautiful videos like that for us. It's going to be a real multimedia experience.
Oh yeah.
Here on Big Howell and Possum. So let's see what. Anything happened to you this week?
Well, I gotta be honest with you. I did get in a fight this week.
You got in a fight?
And I don't like to fight. And I have to admit, I did start it.
Okay. That's not something you hear from somebody who says they don't like to fight.
Well,
but it must have been a very dire situation.
It was dire. I was hungry. There was a duck, and I took his bread. I took it right from him. I said, "Give me that bread, duck."
Yeah.
You got extra, and he did. And then he kind of, got all puffed up, and I took his bread, and we kind of had a scuffle, and I did hurt him. I did hurt that duck.
You hurt the duck.
Yeah, I did hurt him.
That's not hard to do, actually. If you got your hands on a duck, they're not that hard to hurt.
Oh, they're all
fluff. In my experience.
Oh, they're all fluff. It's like a skeleton wearing a fur coat.
Yeah, well, they just got that one little neck there. That's like the one little neck that's super easy to do damage to that one little neck once you got your hands on that.
He's lucky I didn't kill him, That's what I told him as I took his bread. I had a mouthful of bread, and I was like, "You're lucky I didn't kill you, duck."
So you mugged a small animal.
Yeah, I mugged him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, did this duck? Ducks don't have like a police force or anything. They don't have any kind of recourse. It's kind of, I mean, it's kind of the natural world right there. You kind of just won. You're operating in a very, in a sort of interesting middle ground here, where you have sort of you have the capacity for consciousness.
Yes.
But you don't have it, but law sort of doesn't apply to you because you're a natural being.
Well,
right?
I just don't give a care, you know, and it's like the Wild West. If there was a duck sheriff, I would have taken that bread anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how I roll.
Yeah, well, the duck sheriff, like, what? I mean, what's the duck sheriff gonna do to you? That's really the question.
Try to lock me up, but then his handcuffs would be all soft.
Yeah.
And
they'd be super tiny because ducks just have the two little feet that are, you know. And what? Now, why would they have cuffs to begin with? Because you would, you know, you wouldn't. I mean, I guess it would be shackles, like duck shackles.
They would try to shackle me, but
they would try to shackle you, but they wouldn't be able to get those around your big, rather large, for a possum ankles, I think.
Yeah, and ultimately, it's just like y'all get people throwing bread at you all the time. And I get people throwing bread at me, but like hatefully, like hard bread.
Do people throw hard bread at you?
Oh yeah, they find basically I'm being stoned by villagers, and they're like, take that, you know, they'll say
well,
that.
you are an odd sight, you know. I mean, you show up, you're a possum that's like the size of a man, and then you've stolen your clothes from like a scarecrow, which is an inconvenience. For the local farmer and such.
Well,
I mean, you're kind of making life better for the crows. Worse for the ducks, better for the crows. Like we always say down on the ranch where I hang out sometimes.
Oh, toot toot.
Toot toot! Hey, Mr. Possum.
Yay! Hey, Big Al.
I heard you went to the farmer's market this past weekend.
Yeah, I sure did. Wife sent me down there to get some vegetables.
Yeah, they do that. Wives are always looking for veggies.
Oh, yeah, I ran into
Put in the
Farmer
crisper.
Smith. Guess who I saw down there?
Mr. Possum, who did you see down at the farmer's market?
Oh, man, I saw Farmer Smith.
Oh, Farmer Smith. Now, that guy's a real character.
Oh,
he's always causing trouble.
Oh, my God. And there's all sorts of characters down there. So I see Farmer Smith. I say, Farmer Smith, you got any corn?
Oh, he's got to have corn. You got to have corn if you're at the farmer's market.
You know what he says?
What did he say?
He says, I don't got no corn. I said, what the hell you say? You ain't got no corn? How come, farmer?
How could you not have corn at the farmer's market?
I was outraged.
That's wild.
How come you ain't got no corn? He says, I ate it all.
He ate his corn? Farmer Smith ate his own corn?
Ate his own corn and just told me straight up. And I said, well, shit, farmer. Well, got any green beans? I mean, I just moved right on.
Of course he's got green beans. He's at the farmer's market.
Yeah, you would think
Set up
so.
a booth. You gotta get there first thing in the morning. You gotta put those legs up. You gotta put the tent over it. Yeah. You're standing there. If you don't have green, come on. You're gonna bring your green beans.
You would think so, right?
Yeah.
I tried to throw him a gimme.
Yeah.
And he says, I ain't got no green beans.
He doesn't have any green beans.
He said, I ain't got no green beans. I said, buddy, my wife loves green beans. How come you ain't got it? Where they at? You know?
Doesn't have any. He must have sold out of the green beans.
Must have.
Probably sold out of the green beans. That's what it is.
So, you know, benefit of the doubt.
He does have great green beans.
So I say, what happened to them? Where they at? And he says, I ate them all.
What?
This guy.
This guy ate all his green beans. What kind of farmer are we talking about? That's a bad business model, if you ask me.
So the next thing I say, buddy farmer, you got any carrots? And he says,
well, he's got to have some carrots.
Guess what he said? He said,
I have a feeling in my tummy that you're going to tell me he was out of carrots as well.
He said, I ain't got no carrots. I said, what do you mean you ain't got no carrots, farmer? And he said, I don't. I said, where they at? He says, I ate them all.
He ate all his carrots.
He
ate all his carrots. He ate all his green beans. He ate all his corn.
He ate a field worth of vegetables.
That is crazy.
So I said, farmer, you ain't got no corn.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got no green beans.
You said it.
And you ain't got no carrots.
Yep.
Farmer Smith, what do you have? He said,
Good question.
I got diarrhea. Toot toot.
All right. Good one, Mr. Possum. That was quite a yarn.
It's my life.
It's now or never. We ain't gonna live forever. All right. Well, that was fun. So, let's see. Anybody else? Oh, we still got Nathan P. over there in the chat with a toot toot. If you're joining us, if you're tuning in, go ahead and give us a toot toot. Let us know where you're from. Let us know how good this production setup looks to you. And if you have any tips on keying out colors and ways where you don't lose parts of your hat at different moments, that would also help us a great deal.
Boy, we're in the middle of a field, though.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, it's very...
What are you going to do? It's weird out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
We are actually out in the middle of the Nevada desert with cacti and sagebrush and all those kinds of things behind us.
It's dry out here. Hal.
It's just for the sake of light. It's very dry. We're experiencing a dryness, but for the sake of lighting and for the sake of production, because we have a big budget on this thing. We have a production budget. Our cinematographer decided to bring a green screen and put it up behind us, even though we're in the desert anyway, and put a desert scene behind us. He thought it would look better.
Does it look weird?
It looks pretty weird.
Okay.
It looks pretty weird. Oh, we got a rootin' toot toot from Dark Star Flashes.
Well,
how you doing? How you doing? Let us know where you're tooting from, and we'll go ahead and give John a. Oh, toot toot.
Toot toot.
Okay. So, what else is going on? Oh, you know what? We should talk about the current events of the week.
I'd love to.
Let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about something bigger than ourselves, you know?
Good luck.
What's that supposed to mean?
I think highly of myself and of you.
Oh, I thought you were calling me big. Well, I guess I call myself.
You sure do.
I call myself big all the time.
Big Hal.
Yep. It sounds different coming from somebody else, though.
It sounds better, doesn't it?
Does it sounds better someone else calling me big?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Don't
so.
you like to be built up?
Yeah.
Hey.
I like big. I like grown ass. I like being referred to as grown ass.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. I like large. If you put a little D in there, large.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Possum, what do you like being called? You like being called? I know what you don't like being called. This boy don't like being called trash.
Ooh.
You don't like to be called trash.
That'll get me to sink my very loose, fragile teeth into you. And I'll lose a tooth in you, buddy. I'm like a bee, buddy. I'll lose my stinger in you. I'll die that way.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's pretty weird.
It's weird,
but very threatening.
Yeah.
It carries like kind of a violent gravity to it.
I think so.
You know this guy's got nothing to lose. If he's coming at you, he's willing to die for it.
That's right.
That's pretty bad.
Tough.
Yeah, I don't like being called trash myself. I'm not a fan of it. Unless I mean, occasionally.
It dehumanizes.
Occasionally, like in a certain kind of situation, like a boudoir sort of situation.
Oh, like you
like being called trash. That's nice.
Like you like to be kind of roughed up in a boudoir. You have somebody kind of slap you around and say you're trash, baby.
Or the wife, just the wife primarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't
mostly just the wife.
Yeah.
I don't stray too far from our shared boudoir.
Oh. Mm-hmm. When you said boudoir, I thought you meant like a collective sex place.
Like where I'd split the rent with a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
Form like a commune.
Yeah, sex commune.
A sex commune.
I thought a boudoir was. I don't speak French.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes you like.
I kind of like the idea. I kind of like the idea of a sex boudoir. Well, of a shared communist sex boudoir.
Yeah.
Splitting all the expenses and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good idea.
Save some money.
All right, Dark Star Flashes is watching from Hodgen-Typeville. Toot toot to you down there. A lot of good grass down there.
Oh,
a lot of good, beautiful spot.
Pretty country out
It's
there.
yeah, it's beautiful. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah.
This time of year can't beat it. Cannot beat it.
Can't beat it with the hard pieces of bread.
All right, let's head over to the news. Like most of America, Mr. Possum and I receive our news from tedbaglessnews.net. So let's head over to these headlines and just see what's going on. All right, top story on tedbaglessnews.net is Ted Bagless email hacked again.
Oh, Bagless. Oh, my
Ted
God.
Bagless.
Bagless.
Let's talk about securing those passwords, my friend.
That's classic Bagless.
That is Bagless. It seems like it's top story every week, his email getting hacked.
Yeah, he's got a loose wall around his computer.
Kind of makes me wonder, as a news source, how reliable somebody who gets frequently hacked is.
Well, yeah. Don't question Bagless though. Don't go that far.
Well, it's just I wondered,
He's fine.
I mean, the sort of the logical question you might ask a news source that reveals, let's say twice a month that it's been hacked, is that they could then hack the news as well. This could be the hacker. We could be reading the hacker's news.
But that's tight, but it don't make no sense. Like, are you saying like, if I got my house broken into, my door was open,
Sure.
that means you ain't gonna listen to me today, just 'cause I got robbed?
All right. Well, let me put it to you this way. So let's say your house got robbed, your door got kicked in. I come over, and there's just a kind of mess everywhere, right? Everything's been rummaged through, right?
Sounds like you cleaned it up.
But nothing's missing. Toot to you as well.
Exactly.
Nothing's missing exactly. And then a guy in a possum costume.
What?
Listen, hear me out. A guy in a possum costume comes walking towards me through this mess and acting like nothing's wrong.
What?
Or no, actually, because they're saying here that the email was hacked.
Yeah.
Well, let's say a guy in a possum costume
I don't like him.
comes walking through this mess and says, "Look, I'm Mr. Possum. I got robbed."
But he ain't Mr. Possum.
I know that you know that. I know that. But how do we know that this headline right here, that this wasn't written by a guy in a Ted Bagless costume?
Oh my God.
How do we know?
Oh my God. So somebody's wearing Bagless' skin? Maybe? Does he hurt?
Or just one of those shiny suits he wears. I mean, he doesn't have to be wearing his skin, man.
Oh. If you can't wear Bagless'
You don't have to take
skin,
off. You don't have to take off Bagless' skin to wear
Good
a Bagless costume.
he's got notoriously thick skin. He's like an elephant.
He
so
does
some
have.
say.
He does have thick skin, which makes him good. Makes him a good manager.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, stand up to a wind.
He's got thick skin, very easy to figure out passwords. Which is it's sort of like having really, really tough steel chainmail in this day and age. That's like having really tough chainmail that's got really big holes in it, like here and here and here.
Oh,
here.
like sword holes?
Yeah, like sword size. It's having thick skin and a bad password is like having chainmail with big sword-sized slots all through it.
Hey, Bagless, if you're listening, fix your chainmail.
Yeah. Gotta get secure in this day and age. Gotta have a different password every day. It's gotta be randomly figured out. It's gotta be randomly assigned by some kind of program.
Hey,
I got some program that makes your...
Hey, Big Hal.
Yeah.
You think Bagless is going to listen to that?
Nah, he's not gonna listen to that.
Classic Bagless.
Nah, there's no way Bagless listens to that.
No way.
So, all right. So we talked about the top story, the email hacking scandal. Let's see. There's a ridiculous teen craze. That's the second story that I'm just going to trust. Let's just take it. We'll find out later. We'll find out later if this was Ted Bagless or not.
I heard about
We'll
this.
get a call.
No, this is real. I heard about this.
Oh, this might be real news.
This is real.
Oh, it's real.
Yeah, I heard about this.
The teen craze.
Yeah.
What's the teen craze?
Well, they got a picture on there?
Let's just see. Let's see. What do we have here? So we'll click
I
on the.
heard that kids are
Ugh. What?
kids are doing this. teenagers, they got a wound on their body, right? Like a cut or a scrape. And they put a little mustache on it. And glasses sometimes. And then they post it.
And a hat. Look at that thing. That's got a hat on.
The thing is, these kids, the fancier the better. And then they put it on social media and they say hashtag Woundsworth. They had a fancy wound. I swear to God. I mean, the picture's right there.
Hashtag Woundsworth, you say?
Woundsworth, like the fancy Woundsworth. I'm Woundsworth. Good day to you. I'm weeping.
So they're kind of, so they're taking a bad thing that's happened to them. A bad and disgusting thing, really. This blister we're looking at, this gross blister. And they put a mustache and some eyes and a hat on it, and they've turned it into, would you say, something to be proud of, something to aspire to, maybe?
Oh,
they've turned it into somebody fancy that they can look up, who's clearly rich. Their wound is rich, and so now they're looking up to their wound.
It's like they're growing a daddy on their body. You know, like they wish Woundsworth was their daddy. That's one way to look at it, is you're making the best of the
Woundsworth was
situation.
their daddy.
Yeah.
Huh.
You know, a rich old guy with a mustache. Good night, Daddy. Good night, son. I love you, Woundsworth. I love you too, son. I mean, doesn't that sound good?
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
You know?
well, saying those things, yeah. Though that does sound nice to have somebody saying that kind of stuff to you instead of just calling you trash.
Well, hey. I mean, Woundsworth could be mean. He could be like, I've had a rough day. And you're like, sorry, Daddy. And he's like, Woundsworth has had a rough day. I'm all wet from my pus. And you better get out of my way. You know, but ultimately, I think...
He seems like he would be more agitated than sweet to me. And now what I'm wondering about him, what I'm wondering about Woundsworth, is the wound his mouth?
Yes, I believe the wound is his mouth. What do you think it is, a beard?
I was gonna say it kind of looks like maybe it's his neck or chest area or ascot, perhaps. Like it could almost be an ascot.
It could be an ascot.
It could be a kind of like chin accessory,
That's
under chin
very
accessory.
Yeah.
So it's so the wound itself becomes just almost like an accessory on Woundsworth.
Yeah.
So really, he's almost like Skinsworth, and the wound is just an accessory he throws on.
Could be. I mean, but the thing is, these injuries that these kids are posting, it's not always Woundsworth. Sometimes you get a big, deep scrape, and they'll say Scrapesley. Hashtag Scrapesley. And it's the same kind of concept, you know, you got a fancy little guy.
I gotta say, this doesn't get said a lot, but teens are doing just some ridiculous stuff.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous stuff.
What if they're hurting themselves on purpose?
Few people will point out the problems with the stuff teenagers engage in.
I'm tired of that.
Mm-hmm.
Tired of people keeping their mouth shut about teens.
Yep. You gotta speak power to teens. That's what I'm telling you.
Teens.
You gotta let them know. You're not in charge. You don't get to do just whatever you want.
No. Don't be hurting yourself and putting a mustache on that for fun. Don't.
We got a toot toot from the wife. My wife just sent us a toot toot.
Toot toot.
She asked me to bring a can of Dinty Moore down to the basement.
Ooh, that's a good stew.
I'll be back from the sagey brush of Nevada as soon as I can be. Like this weekend or so.
That's
honey.
Sweet. I like the way you put that. It's a good letter to write her, like handwritten letter. I'll be back from the sagey brush of Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
Dearest.
Oh, how I miss you, my sweet, sweet Franny. That's what I say.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yes.
I like that.
Enclosed is a desert flower that I captured just for you.
Oh my God, you're melting my heart on its skillet.
Oh, I'm a man of letters. I know how to write them.
Hoo-wee. Toot toot.
Toot toot, Mr. Possum. Let's move on down the list here. All right, metal meltdown imminent. These dimes are softer than ever.
Huh.
All right, let's put a little. This actually makes me think that these headlines are from Ted Bagless because Ted is a well-known. It's a well-known theory of his that metal one of these days is just all gonna melt.
Huh.
Like out of nowhere, or not out of nowhere, but I guess he thinks it's gradually happening. Apparently, he sent me some links. The logic or the science, I believe, is on his side here. I think the scientific community has a consensus, and there's a lot of like people in the metal industry who are kind of trying to sweep this under the rug. But Ted's been keeping a jar with water in it, and he puts dimes in it, and I guess he's saying that the dimes in his dime jar, his wet dime jar, are softer than they've ever been, which forebodes a coming collapse of all metals, which is going to ruin almost everything in the world.
Oh my God!
All buildings are going to come down. All the computers are just going to stop working. Watches.
Because what's the world but a big
wedding
jar?
rings are just going to melt right off, and then it's kind of a free for all, if you ask me.
Ooh, that's the time to pay the rent on that sex commune when your wedding ring falls off.
Yeah. Living in a post metal, commitment free sex commune in the Nevada desert. That's pretty much. I think that's where Ted Baglis is putting his money on his future.
We got to keep them metal from melting.
So let's a quick reminder from us here at Big Howell and Possum to invest in paper money. Don't invest in metals. They are going to melt, and they're just going to go right down your shower drain.
It's going soft.
All right, so-called Hollywood sick of making movies. They're gonna quit.
They're going to quit making movies?
Hollywood's going to quit making movies. Now, I read about this. I know this is true. This is absolutely true. So Hollywood has decided they're big fans. They love being rich. They love being famous. They love being successful. But they're sick of the whole the movies. They're sick of making movies.
They're tired of the hassle?
They're tired of the hassle. They're tired of getting up in the morning and sitting in a makeup chair at 5 a.m. That part does seem like it would kind of stink compared to being rich and sitting by the pool and just relaxing in a lounge chair. If you think about it, those two things, I'd probably once I got to a certain point, I'd figure out how to ditch the sitting in a makeup chair.
So they're just going to stop making movies? They're
going to stop. Well, they're going to put a wall around Hollywood, from what I understand. They're going to put a wall around Hollywood. They're not taking any more starlets in.
Okay.
They're just going to put a wall. They're going to take all their money. They got a lot of it. They got quite a bit. They're putting a wall around Hollywood, and they're just going to hang out at their pools, and they're going to do their awards shows, and they're going to have their fancy dinners and whatnot, and then they're going to. But no more movies. No more movies.
All right.
So that's it for movies.
Well, so long. I mean.
And now, how do you feel about that?
Well, I like movies, and I've said that they're going to be gone.
Yeah.
I love movies. And don't they like movies? And they're going to run out of money. They're going to sit in that pool. It's going to dry up. That sun is going to dry up that pool, and they're just going to be sitting around in a pit with nothing to watch.
You think the sun is going to dry up their pool?
Yep, and then
they're not making movies.
Yeah, figuratively and literally. I mean, the sun will dry up their pool because they ain't got no money.
Well, California is known for droughts. Yeah, they do have droughts out there.
It's so.
And we're almost there. We're in Nevada right now, and it's very dry here.
Oh
it's
God,
extremely dry here.
I got mummy mouth.
Yeah. Okay, so you think it's going to go bad for them? Because I think I can kind of see it. I can kind of get it.
You think it's a good thing?
Well, I don't think it's a good thing. I'm not looking forward to there not being any movies anymore. Though there are a lot I haven't seen that I would be happy to catch up on. I think they could do. I think the theaters could just rerun them all. Could just be like, hey, here's 100 years of movies. We're going to do a different one every week or whatever. I think that would be pretty good because you could catch up. But the thing that I like about it, the thing that I relate to about it, is just the idea that they're all quitting their jobs.
Well, yeah.
Right? Doesn't that sound good?
Quitting sounds great.
Quitting, I love it. I love just not having a job.
Sounds
great.
I don't have a job.
Yeah.
And I tend to love it.
Yeah.
Mostly. Although,
I mean, but wouldn't you consider sort of scrounging and scurrying and sort of fighting ducks for food? Don't you see that as kind of your job because you sort of have to do it to eat because they won't let you into restaurants and sort?
I don't look at it like my job because I like it. If I hated it, it'd be like, oh, it's just a job. I like picking on ducks.
Yeah. They do kind of feel good.
They're soft.
Yeah.
They're soft, and I push them around and just push them a second time just to feel that softness on my hand. Bully just won't touch it.
So we got another headline here. The Clifton Giant was spotted just outside of Clifton.
I told you the Clifton Giant was real.
Man, I don't know what you're talking about with the Clifton Giant, and I don't know what Ted's talking about here. I will say, every time Ted talks about the Clifton Giant, it's spotted outside of Clifton. So I got an issue already with the nomenclature, where the Clifton Giant appears to not ever be in Clifton.
Big
So
house.
why is it called the Clifton Giant if it's a different neighborhood's giant? As far as I mean, why is it not the Crescent Hill Giant? Why is it not the Butchertown Giant?
Buddy, oh my God. If the Clifton Giant stood in Clifton, he would crush us. You can't see him unless he's just outside of it. And I can't believe
that's interesting. That's
that
interesting.
you can't see him. He's always there. Always. Can you hear him breathing right now?
Can I hear a giant breathing
Yeah.
right now? No, I
You're
cannot.
just used to it. It's like how people don't feel the earth spinning because they've been on it. Dog, he's up there heavy breathing. Sometimes he spits.
Are you sure that's not just rain?
No, I know it's not rain.
I think that might be rain.
No, he spits, but he only does it certain times of the day.
I mean, I'm going to defer to you a little bit on this kind of thing because you are a large animal night sort of. You're a night-dwelling animal creature with some kind of vague supernatural thing going on that we have not defined and don't plan to. So I feel like I'm going to defer to you about whether or not there's a big giant out there because I just don't know. I'm just a regular guy. I just like I just like sitting on my porch and having a roast beef sandwich, those kinds of things. I don't concern myself much with whether there's a enormous giant standing just on the border of my neighborhood peering down upon me.
Well, that's your right as an American. You can ignore that giant until it's too late.
And I intend to. Well, I mean, come on.
You would be a mere trifle to him. A trifle. He would pick you up. You would be this small. You would be like
I would be that small. That's how big he is compared to me?
So big. He's so big. Think of his scale. Think of the scale.
Well, he is called a giant.
I mean, it
does make sense.
He would.
It does make sense that he would be big.
He would wreck you.
Yeah.
So just ignore him.
I'd be like a duck to him. I'd be like a little duckling to him.
Yes, but less soft.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think you're safe because you're not soft.
You don't know how soft I am.
I get the impression you're not as soft as a duck. You know, but that's true. I do not know how soft you are.
I mean, a duck's feathers are waterproof, whereas I absorb water like a sponge.
Yeah, ground.
So.
Right in the lake.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and then the last one, it says, the headline here is, a plum is not, quote unquote, dessert. How do you feel about that, Mr. Possum?
Nah.
I'm inclined to agree with it. I think bringing out a fruit-based dessert, even if it's a dessert that has fruit in it, is kind of a gamble.
Oh yeah, get out of here. Oh, I brought out dessert. Oh boy, I'm getting a Twinkie or something, or a ding dong.
Yeah.
You know, and a piece of fruit. Come on, you broke?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the hobo? Where's the ding dong?
Where was Ted Bagless at that somebody just brought out a plum and said, "Here's dessert"? Where's that?
Ted Bagless keeps some crappy company.
Yeah, that's weird. That's very weird. All right, man. Well, that's we've gotten through the headlines. We've talked about basically everything that's happening in the world.
I feel better.
We got the local news, the giant. We got Hollywood news, and that pretty much incorporates the entire world. And we clearly got kind of a sandwich here of stuff going on in Ted Bagless' own life. So a little shout out to Ted Bagless. Thank you for keeping this news site up and running.
Lock your doors, Ted.
Lock your doors. Get a better password, Ted. All right. Let's say it's man. Time is just ticking along here. It's just moving quite along. Would you, Possum? Do you want to play a game?
I'd love to play a game. Yeah.
I would like to play a game.
All right, now we're in game mode.
What are we playing
This is
here
what's
tonight,
called
Big Al?
game mode. All right, we're going to play a little board game, classic American board game of tyranny and chaos that is called Sorry.
Hmm.
Now, this is a game where you sort of, it's all right there in front of you. You have these cards that tell you exactly what to do, and you have your pieces that you're trying to get around the board, and you just kind of have to go with what happens to you.
Well, it sounds boring.
Give us a toot in the comments if you're a big fan of Sorry. I think it's a classic American game because you don't have to read any rules. It just the game sort of gives you rules as you play it. Just tells you, hey, shut up and move 5 paces.
I like being apologized to too. I like that.
Yeah, it's constantly going sorry.
It yells it.
Yeah.
I'm so
All right.
sorry.
Mr. Possum, I'm going to let you go first. Just go ahead.
Okay.
We're here in Nevada.
I'll just take my guy and just kind of sorry.
Okay, we're going to have to back up a little bit.
Oh.
So step 1 is just leave your guy there.
Okay.
You're blue. I'm yeller.
All right.
I didn't want to be yeller, but that's sort of the orientation that the board had. So just so you know, I didn't pick yeller. All right. Now, Mr. Possum, go ahead and grab one of them cards that say sorry, and that's going to tell you everything you need to know about this turn.
Well, okay. I'm having a hard time seeing it. Read that for me, Big Al.
Sure, Possum, I'll read this for you, knowing that you can read, but that the light's probably not that good.
Yeah.
All right. Move one man forward 11 squares, or any one of your men may change places with any one man of any opponent.
Oh.
Note, forfeit move if you do not wish to change places, and it is impossible to go forward 11 squares.
Well, okay, it's tempting because it is safe here. If I don't ever get out into the world, I don't have to be sorry for nothing. But hey, life is short. Let's get out there.
Hang on a second. I think it's a rule of the game. I'm just going to say this. I think it's a rule of sorry. I think I remember that you have to get a 1 to get out of the start hole.
What?
Can we get a toot in the chat if anybody remembers if that's one of the rules of sorry? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry to do this to you, but I think that might be one of the rules of sorry. Is you gotta get a 1 or maybe a 2.
I'm sorry, I have a question. What if I never get a 1? I'm never going to get out of this little hole.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of safe. That kind of looks like a trash can. That looks like the kind of place you might feel safe.
It's empty.
I mean, there's a plus and a minus in all aspects of life to getting out of your little hole.
Okay.
Right? Because you venture out. In there, you're safe. I can't take you away. I can't knock you off the board. I can't get rid of you. I can't murder you when you're in that little hole.
Yeah.
So it's a risk to venture out and forward.
But it gets boring in the hole. I gotta get out.
That's life, folks.
I gotta get out.
That's life. You gotta get out. And you know what? I don't. It's a rule. It's a rule that you gotta get a 1. Is it a 1? Is it a? Can we get a toot in the chat if it's a 1 you have to get? I kind of want to forfeit this rule or get rid of this rule anyway because it's just gonna take us freaking forever to get a dang on 1.
Yeah, I'm busy.
Oh, any positive note? Nathan says they changed the rules in 2013. Sounds convincing because he used a specific year. Nathan says they changed the rules in 2013. Any positive number gets you out. So a positive number gets you out of the hole.
Oh.
They must have done that in 2013 because things were getting so bad.
Well,
everything was getting so rough for everybody. They were like, we got to get these people out of their sorry holes a little faster. Now, so you got 11. You got 11 spaces.
Okay.
Go.
Boop, 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 boop,
Mr. Possum, I'm inclined to.
boop.
I had not thought about this, but do you know how to count?
I went a few. I think I did 11 boops.
You think you did 11 boops?
Yep.
I'm gonna trust you, but if I start to wonder if you can count or not, we might have to do a little refresher on that.
Toot toot.
Toot toot. All right.
What's this thing?
The slide?
Yeah.
If you land on the triangle part of the slide, you slide down to the next little hole.
Okay. All right.
You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, folks. Now here I've got I got a 3. You can see that. You can see that. Must move one man forward 3 squares. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right. Grab yourself a card there.
Okay.
And just go ahead and read that for us, Mr. Possum. Just go ahead and read that.
That is a. Well, I just can't see it too good. I'm used to.
Okay,
my eyes are off.
okay. Yeah, no, I understand. It's pretty dry out here. Your eyes are probably dry.
Yeah, my eyes are dry.
You don't have eyelids. I get it. Okay. Must either move one man forward 7 squares or split the move between any 2 men. It says any 2 men, so any 2 men on Earth, really.
Oh my God.
That's a
Why
7
overthink
there.
it? I'm gonna take this guy around the world, and these can all be safe.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
He'll just write down stories of his travels and read them to his little. Wait, are you on the same space as me?
I'm on the same space.
I think that means you kicked my ass. I think
Sorry.
that means. Yeah. Let's call it that. All right, so that puts me back in the start hole. All right, let's get. Oh, I got a 10 though. I got a 10. See that? All right,
That's a 10.
Okay, so with a 10 you can go forward 10 squares or go backward 1 square. All right. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4,
Hey!
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I mean, you can just boot me off if I'm in your way.
I don't know if that's okay or not.
Hey, give me a toot toot if you feel like he just did me dirty. I feel like I'm not supposed to be kicked off unless he lands on me.
They're not very quick about responding to,
I'll wait.
These kinds of rules.
I'll wait, Big
Well, go ahead and grab yourself a. Here, you know what? Let's just put you back here.
While
Was
we
that
deliberate.
where you were?
Yes, and while we deliberate, may I stay there? Thank you.
All right, just go ahead.
Jesus.
Just go ahead and read that card to me.
There it is.
Oh, I see. As you're also reading right now, you must move one man forward 5 squares.
I know, I was thinking.
Yeah.
I saw that. I don't have to read stuff.
All right,
aloud.
go ahead. Whoever you want to send forward, you're gonna put all your. This is your Captain Cook over here. He's doing some world exploring.
He's more the adventurous type.
Ooh. Sorry.
This is when you have to admit something bad you did.
No, sorry means that I take your man, put him back in his little hole back there with his wife and kids, and then and then I put this down in the discard pile.
But he was the lonesome pioneer.
Yeah, I'm sorry. As I said, I'm sorry.
He just kicked Neil Armstrong right in the balls.
Yeah.
He said, "Get back to the Earth. We don't want you up here."
Yeah.
That's the moon, you know. Okay.
Wait, my guy is the moon.
It's like I was on the moon.
It seems like maybe I would be one of the other people who was on the moon.
Yes.
And I kicked Neil Armstrong right in the crotch, and he just lit because the moon's gravity's not as the moon's gravity's not as full. So I kicked him right in the crotch, and he just sort of lifted up.
That's
just
terrible.
kept going. Just kept going out into space.
Just kicked him off. Right off the moon.
And then he landed on Earth.
Well, it's a shape like.
Must either move one man forward 7 squares or split the move between any 2 men.
Okay.
Any 2 men on Earth.
I learned a lesson from old kicking the balls Neil Armstrong. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We are definitely playing this game the way the rules work. I am sure of that. All right. Must move one man backward 4 squares. Oh.
I I'm sorry for your loss.
1, 2, 3, 4. Slide. Bam.
You can't do that.
Yep, I just did.
Okay.
Must move one man forward 3 squares.
Boop,
3 squares.
Boop, boop.
Man, you're counting great.
I got the boop.
Mr. Possum is counting really great tonight.
Thanks.
All right. Let's, must either start a man out or move one man forward 2 squares. Draw again. That says draw again. I'm not cheating. Here we go. 1, 2. Draw again. Oh, I got another one.
What?
Must either start a man out or move one man forward 2. Oh, I think I went 2 squares illegally. Okay. Well, I don't. Oh, I gotta go. I gotta go like that because I can't. That guy was blocking the entrance to my little hole. Ooh. All right. Go ahead and draw one.
All right.
Oh,
I've seen this
we got
before.
some stuff going on in the. We got some stuff going on. Our chat. Okay, so we got the rules. A 10 means you switch to Twister. Oh, okay. That's not an official rule. That's more of a life rule.
Okay.
If you draw a 10 in Sorry, you have to switch to a game where the goal is for us to get our bodies inconveniently intertwined together.
Like a couple of snakes.
Like a couple of snakes. Now, okay, so Nathan says, if he slides you, you go. I don't know what that means. If he slides you, you go.
You go away.
But you can't slide on your own color. Oh, he's saying I cheated.
Yeah, I told you can't slide on that.
Okay. Now, for those in the chat, I will just say you should probably address these to me as though I am then going to convey the information to Possum. Because, one, Possum can't see all the way over to the chat, and he also cannot read. So, let's see. Okay. John over here in the chat says this is almost as exciting as listening to some knuckleheads do a crossword.
Huh.
Is that exciting? Is exciting listening to people do a crossword?
Well, you know, I've seen a crossword puzzle at Spencer Gifts once that had a bunch of boobs on it, and that was an exciting crossword.
That does sound exciting. How's that work? A bunch of boobs? Like the crossword outline was like the words were in the boobs, or the boobs, or you were filling it in with boobs? How'd that work?
Well, every word was boobs.
Oh, it was all just boobs.
Yeah.
The answer to every word was boobs.
Right, and then together it made a big boob.
That's awesome.
It was pretty tight. I don't sell it no more.
That's cool.
Well, I don't want to play Twister just because I'm comfortable, and those are house rules, and I feel like in the desert there's no house.
Yeah.
You know?
No house rules in the desert. That is true. All right. Well,
thank you for the suggestion.
We got speaking of exciting, we got a video sent in to us. This is from Danielle in Oralburg. I think that she just said Oralburg, but I think it's Oralburg, Kentucky.
Okay.
Danielle sent us a video she wants us to watch. Let's peep this for a second. Take a little break from the game. See what happens. Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Danielle. How are you doing? Thank you for this video.
What she got?
She's got some kind of pita-based sandwich. Some kind of wrap. Maybe it's grilled. Looks almost like it's grilled. It's got some little
she's got a
wrinkles
drink
in it. She's got a Coca-Cola, classic American beverage. And she's just having a little sandwich, if that is a sandwich. Oh, she's looking at us. Hi there. How are you doing? Hey, Danielle.
Thanks, buddy, for sending this in.
Thank you for sending in this video. It's nice. Like it so far. Let's see.
She seems to be by herself, right? Eating this sandwich.
Well, I think somebody else stuck that Coke in front of the camera.
Yeah, but like.
All right.
Aren't you gonna have a drink? I get that much sandwich in my mouth.
Oh, we just cut ahead. We just did a jump cut. Maybe she took a drink in the jump cut.
Think so?
Yep. All right. So she's got something else on the plate. Are those fries? You think those are fries?
Yeah, those are fries.
You think those are fries?
Those are fries.
Oh, we got a drink. We got a Coca-Cola sip.
Toot toot.
Toot toot. All right, and
What kind of sauce you
no,
think
that's a
that is?
big bite right there. That's a big bite.
You think that's like a coleslaw kind of sauce?
It looks kind of coleslaw-y. I'm gonna guess that that is a that's like a hollowed out ciabatta roll with coleslaw and those teriyaki beef jerky things they got at the Walgreens.
Yes.
I'm gonna guess that those are slathered in a kind of mayonnaise and then stuck in there with some coleslaw, stuck in that hollowed out ciabatta roll. That's what I'm gonna guess is going on there.
Would you eat that sandwich?
Of course I would eat that sandwich.
I would eat the shit out of that sandwich.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite meats to go into a sandwich. Is them teriyaki beef jerkies. I'll take them into Subway sometimes and just tell them put this in the sandwich. Charge me for a veggie. Put these in the sandwich.
That's so smart. It's like
Dip them in the mayonnaise. Put
wrap
them in
this
the
up
sandwich.
for me. Wrap this up for
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite deals. All right. So that was pretty fun.
Is it over?
I think it goes on for a little while longer.
She's gonna finish it.
Do you think she's gonna eat the entire?
Oh, totally. I mean, either that or there's gonna be a twist.
Oh. See, I told you there was somebody else there. Look at that. A thief stealing the Coca-Cola.
I wouldn't drink a Coke with that.
You would? What would you drink with it?
I would. See, I don't like cold soda.
You don't like cold soda?
No.
Oh, well. You like hot soda.
I like hot soda.
You like hot soda.
I like a nice hot refresher soda. Now that's just me.
Well, I like a hot soda as well. Sounds like maybe we should move on to a Guff alert.
Oh.
Guff alert,
Oh my God.
folks! We got a Guff alert.
Guff alert.
Guff alert is brought to you, as always, by Guff Alert Hot Soda, the only soda in the self-heating can.
Oh yeah.
You just shake up that can. You got yourself a hot soda right out of the can. You don't even have to put it in the microwave, folks.
On a day like today,
On a day like today,
you gotta get something hotter in your mouth so that you cool off. You drink a cold drink on a hot day, oh my God, you get a hot mouth.
yep, then you just feel like a hot body around a cold belly full of cold syrup.
It's dumb. Now
Dumb.
Guff alert soda, now that's smart. It's each can is almost like it's got a little microwave in there.
We got a crate of hot sodas behind us here in the Nevada desert. And we're just shaking them up, cracking them open, having ourselves a little hot soda.
Piping hot fizz.
Yep, that's right. All right, let's get back to our game.
Okay. All right.
All
where were
right,
we?
so you had a 10,
Okay.
which means we got to switch to Twister.
But desert rules, I'm gonna go boop boop boop.
Okay,
boop,
desert rules.
boop 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 boop.
Ah, you're right in front of my hole.
Right in front of your opus. Right in front of your open anus. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right in front of my open nose.
Right
Open
in front
nose.
of your Mr. Holland's open anus.
I've got a 7 here, as you can see. This means I must either move one man forward 7 squares or split the move between 2 men. I'm going to split this move. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, slide down that bad boy. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, slide down that bad boy.
You just sorried yourself.
Nah, it's good. It's
You
fine.
knocked yourself off your own shit.
Nah,
Big Hal.
nah.
You knocked yourself off your
The
spot.
card said it was fine.
It's like you hit yourself with a rake. It's like you stepped on a rake.
Nah, I didn't do that. Grab yourself a card.
I feel like I'm being
The
walked on.
card said it was fine.
11. Right? I've seen that before.
Man, you're doing great.
I'm learning fast.
You're learning too fast. for my sake.
Next it'd be like the lawnmower man.
Yeah.
I get too powerful.
Playing sorry with someone who can't read is a lot easier than playing sorry with someone who can.
Toot
So
toot.
Toot toot. I think Buddha said that. All right, move one man forward 11 squares, or any one of your men may change places with one man of any opponent.
Oh, well, I'm going to take this guy, the loser of my team.
Yeah.
And he's going to go back home.
Wait, I think it was exchange.
Exchange.
Change places. So where was this guy?
He was outside of the opus.
So he was right there. Okay. All right. So it's my turn.
But I just made you get farther in the board.
Yeah, it's true. You really helped me out there. And then I got a 12. I say we play this until one of us gets into our home spot, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I say we play until one of us gets safely into our home spot.
I'd like to get all 4 of my men in my home spot. I've got a responsibility to these men. And I want to get them all safely home. And I don't give a care about your yellow guys. I want my blue guys to get out of their opus and get into their star. I'm drawing a card.
You're taking this game pretty seriously.
I've decided to take it serious.
That's a 2. No, you can start a man, or you can move another man two spots.
Boop, sorry.
Okay. I can't even remember if that's right. If that is actually.
It feels right. It feels right. Your turn. If it feels right, do it.
Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat here. Okay. Yeah, no, that looks like it's going on. All right, give us a toot toot in the chat if you'd like us to continue playing this game for the remainder of the evening. All right, must move one man backward 4 squares.
Oh, sorry about you.
I'll do this one. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Moving right along. Sorry.
Okay, now sorry. Now this is a different sorry than the one that I got. This one says you got to apologize for something bad that you did in your life. At some point.
Okay.
That's what this one says.
Okay, I'm sorry. One time I was hiking in the woods, and I kind of whipped somebody with a snake.
Now, what do you mean?
I picked up a nearby snake.
You picked up a nearby snake.
And I whipped him with it head first. I didn't care if that snake was hurt. I didn't care if they get bit. I just said, "Watcha!"
It was funny to you.
It sure was. It still is, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, all right.
It was and is funny.
I'm sure they appreciate your apology. If you're in the chat, go ahead and give us a toot toot.
I bruised him with a snake.
You bruised him?
I bruised him
You
with
stuck
that
around.
snake.
You stuck around long enough to see a bruise for him?
I saw him on the street the next day, and I said, "I know what gave you that bruise, Chuck." That snake.
Oh, you know this person by name.
No, I just called him Chuck. You know,
Oh,
hey,
okay.
like, "Hey, Chuck, hey, buddy."
You call strangers on the street Chuck.
Well, he wasn't a stranger no more. I felt like I kind of had a bond with him, and I whipped him with that snake.
Did he feel like he had a bond with you?
It's somewhat of a bond. He felt abused.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only bond some people get.
Okay.
I'm kind of a bad person, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I mean, but again, as we discussed at the beginning of the show, you're in sort of a weird gray area where you live in the natural world, and you are a natural creature, and it's sort of cutthroat out there. But you just happen to be the size of a man, and you can speak, and you're learning slowly how to read to everyone's detriment.
Look out.
Yeah. You're going to be president one day, and that's going to be a real problem for everybody.
I could do that job.
I have no doubt you could. All right. Must move one man forward 5 squares. Oh, this is discard. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Watch it, Chuck.
Wait, why did I just do that? I didn't take my hand off the piece.
Yes, you did.
I didn't take my hand off the piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. He's one from home, folks. Which might be a problem, because I don't know if there's ones in the card deck.
Well, that's where you stay. That's what you get for being a dirty, cheating, sorry sumbitch. I've seen that before, too. That's a 10. That's a 10. I'm going to take this guy.
Okay, go for it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Guy can count, guy can read. It's amazing.
I'm a good boy.
One!
Okay, you
You
got
see
one of
that?
your guys home.
That's it. That's the game.
That's the entire game.
That's the game.
2-2.
I win. 2-2.
All right.
All right. Well, look who won. Sorry.
You said you was going to win.
Yellow piece right there. That's the winner. That's the victor. That's the victor of the evening.
Who cares
All
about
right.
these guys, right?
I don't. You know, I just want the one guy to get past the finish line. I don't care. You know, it's like sperm or whatever. The other ones just swim off and die somewhere.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That's just a puddle of
Those are just
dead sperm.
Those are just leftover sperms.
And this is a human.
And that is now probably like a rich Hollywood guy.
Oh, yeah, because look where he lives.
Yeah. He's inside the wall in Hollywood where they've stopped making movies, but they're still rich. The pools are like sort of halfway drained from evaporation. But they've still got pools, and they're still good. They're good for a few more years until they're going to have to venture out. See, this is like the wall around Hollywood right here. And one in an upcoming year, like after all the metal melts, they're going to have to jump out of that hole and, you know, figure out a life for themselves somewhere in the Nevada desert.
What did you think of this game, Big Hal?
It's more complicated than I remembered.
Yeah.
I kind of, in my memory, it was something where you could just pull it out, slap it on the table, and it would just reveal the rules to you slowly over time because you're lifting the cards up and the board has stuff written on it, but the board doesn't have everything written on it. There are rules that I didn't know even in this short abbreviated version of this game. Mr. Possum, what do you think about this game?
I don't like it. I thought it was
Oh, you
boring.
didn't like it?
I thought it was boring.
Yeah,
I wanted
yeah,
more
okay.
shapes. I wanted more shapes. I was expecting some kind of I wanted to feel more sorry about things I did.
Okay,
But
you
I
wanted
don't-
more regret.
Well, yeah,
Built
I didn't
into
do
the
nothing
game.
all that bad to be so sorry.
Yeah.
I just kind of made my way around. If he was in my way, I said, scooch it. You know, we could have shared a spot. I don't feel like I'm really that sorry.
Yeah, I think this game might be. I think this game might be more for, say, little kids who have more of a capacity for remorse than you do as a child, but also have fewer regrets already built into their life. That they're kind of because you're kind of weighing your actual lifetime regrets against the somewhat petty, paltry regrets that you might encounter on this game, like knocking your good friend Big Hal off the board.
Oh, yeah, that's nothing to what I did to that frog.
What'd you do to the frog?
Well, Big Hal, I took that frog and I put him in my cowboy hat for a whole day as a joke. And I would be like, howdy, ma'am. And I'd take off my hat and there'd be a frog in there. And I did that for so long that there was one day I said, howdy, ma'am, and there was a frog skeleton in there. Frog died on my hat, toot.
Toot toot. But I'm not. That's a. See, for me, that comes off like that sounds like animal abuse to me. But once again, I have to remind our viewers at home that Mr. Possum here is a wild animal,
Oh, I'm so wild.
and stuff that nature does isn't always pretty. Sometimes nature decides that the best way for an animal to operate is to stick a frog under his hat until that frog becomes a frog skeleton.
But everything happens for a reason. Everything. Even that frog was meant to die in
That's
my
a very
straw hat.
spiritual thing to say.
That's what I told his skeleton. I said everything happens for a reason, old froggy bones.
Old froggy bones. I'll give that a toot toot. All right. Okay. Well, we've played a game. We've had a guff alert. We've done our headlines. I think we about did this. I think we
had a time.
So there's one thing I wanted to do. We got a segment here that we're for our beloved viewers who need some advice, but again are looking for that advice to come from someone who's not morally tethered to the human world.
Mm.
Doesn't maybe have a sort of the traditional conscience or conscious in the traditional sense. So if you are looking for advice or a unique perspective on things from a wild animal in a stolen scarecrow outfit, you just send us an email. What's the email for your dear possum thing?
When you say email,
like what Ted Bagless does his news through.
oh well, I got a Facebook page.
Oh, it's a Facebook page.
Yeah.
Look up the possum on Facebook and just message him that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense that you wouldn't be able to get. It makes sense that a wild animal would not be able to get an email, but would be able to get a Facebook page.
Anybody got a
that makes a lot
Facebook
of sense.
page?
Everybody's got one. Yeah. Okay. So, and if you would like some advice from Mr. Possum, just write it in to Dear Possum at possum@facebook.com. Here.
Oh man, have you ever seen Turner and Hooch? Oh my god, Tom Hanks plays this cop named Hooch, okay? And some guy dies, and he gets this dog from him, and the dog becomes his partner trying to solve his crime. Oh man, and Turner is so slobbery. He don't give a care. He's all the time just shaking his head around and slobber goes everywhere, and boy is Hooch just not having it. I love it.
All right, a little advice, or that was just a movie opinion, wasn't it?
Yeah, they asked me what my favorite movie was. You don't need advice all the time. Sometimes you just want to know what I'm stinking.
Yeah. Well, that's been the first ever episode of Big Howell and Possum. Toot toot.
Wee toot toot.
That was fun. We're going to be doing this every week, Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. It's not always going to be the same thing. Not always going to do the same things. We're just going to stream this. We're going to get you guys here in the chat. Love to have y'all yell stuff at us or do whatever. Just give us a toot toot once you pop in. And be sure to like and subscribe to this channel, this here Big Howell and Possum channel. And join us once again, 8 p.m. every Wednesday for the live stream. And thank you very much for watching. Mr. Possum, you got anything left to say?
I would just like to give one hearty toot toot to everybody out there.
Toot
watching.
toot!
Toot toot.
Mm-hmm. How do we stop this here stream? What I'm trying to figure out.
Go over and stop streaming on that thing, I believe.
Oh, yeah. We just hit that stop streaming
Just
button.
stop it.
Couldn't be clearer. Couldn't be clearer. Good night, everybody. Oh, now we got another thing.
Good night.
Toot toot, everybody.
Toot toot.
Toot toot. Till next